Hello everyone, we are back with the next iteration of the pack prediction video, and there are a lot of cards that have been released, so we have a lot more information. So let's just get right into it because we have a lot of cards to cover. So first, we're going to start with the Gizamon lines. Alright, so we have Proto Gizamon, 3 cost to play, 3000 DP, no Digivolution cost because this Digimon is not made to Digivolve. Instead, it has a different unique mechanic. So, Gizamon Proto Mode, when you would play this card from your hand by deleting one of your level 2 Digimon in the breeding area, reduce the play cost by 2, making it a 1 play cost. And on play, draw 1 cards. All turns, this Digimon can Digivolve. And on deletion, by returning 2 cards with Gizamon in their name from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order, you may play 1 Gizamon AT from your trash without playing its cost. And then we have Gizamon AT. When you would play this card from hand, by deleting one of your level 3 Digimon, reduce this play cost by 4. On play, draw 2. All turns, this Digimon can Digivolve. On deletion, by returning 2 cards with Gizamon in their name from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order, you may play 1 Gizamon XT from your trash without paying its cost. This is also a 6 cost to play normally in 6000 DP Digimon, so that would make it a 2 cost to play normally. Well, with its effect. And then we have Gizamon XT, 9 cost to play, 9000 DP. When you would play this card from hand by deleting one of your level 4 Digimon, reduce the play cost by 6, making this play cost 3, and this Digimon has blocker, and on play, play 1 Akihiro Kurata from your trash without paying its cost. Again, this Digimon can Digivolve, and on deletion, you may play 1 Proto Gizamon from your trash without paying its cost. So it's like a nice little cycle. Then let's talk about Kurata. When you would play a card with Belphemon in its name, by deleting one of your Digimon with Gizamon in its name, reduce the play cost by the play cost of the deleted Digimon. So, in other words, if you delete Gizamon XT, you reduce the play cost of Belphemon by 9. End of opponent's turn. Once per turn, draw 1 card and trash 1 card in hand. Then, by placing this tamer under one of your Digimon with Belphemon in its name, at the bottom Digivolution card, delete one of your opponent's level 6 Digimon. Security effect, play this card without playing its memory cost. And with that being said, with Belphemon being in the name, it's no surprise that the next up on this list is the Belphemon line. So we have Pascamon with 3 costs to play, 1000 DP, and on deletion effect, draw 1 card, then trash 1 card. End of turn, draw 1 card, trash 1 card. End of opponent's turn. And then we have the 4 cost to play, 3000 DP, 2 cost to Digivolve, Porcupamon. And on play, on deletion, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. And end of opponent's turn, draw 1, trash 1. Then we have Ostamon, 7 cost to play, 7000 DP, 3 cost to Digivolve. On play, when Digivolving, you may delete one of your other purple Digimon to Digivolve this Digimon to a Digimon card with Belphemon and its name in your hand without paying its Digivolution cost. Nice, nice. And inheritable, opponent's turn. When a card is trashed from your hand, which it almost always will be, with your inheritable effects, you may play 1 level 4 or lower purple Digimon from your trash without paying its cost. And then we have the next iteration of the 7 Great Demon Lords. Belphemon, 11 cost to play, 11,000 DP, 3 cost to Digivolve. And we already see it can Digivolve for 1 from Belphemon Rage Mode, so we can already see we're going to be sliding in between the 2 forms. But on play, when Digivolving, you may by placing 1 Belphemon Rage Mode from your trash on top of this Digimon Digivolution cards, this Digimon can't attack and isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon until the end of your opponent's turn, meaning the only way to deal with Belphemon will be an option card. And on opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, you may trash 2 cards in your hand to end the attack. Just adding the ability to trash cards in your hand on opponent's turn. So, next up is Rage Mode. 14 cost to play, 14,000 DP. This is a beefy level 6. Alright, start of main phase. Delete all your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. Already powerful out the gate. Then, If you have 6 or less cards in your hand, and with you trashing cards in your hand pretty much easily, this Digimon will get 3000 DP and security attack +1 for the turn. And at the end of its attack, by deleting one of your other Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. Inheritable effect. End of opponent's turn. If this Digimon is Belphemon Sleep Mode, trash the top card of this Digimon. In other words, you slap down Belphemon Sleep Mode, give him his effect to make him invulnerable by your opponent's Digimon effects, and then next turn, potentially board wipe your opponent, and then plow into your opponent's security for 4 checks. 2 checks on one swing, 2 checks when it unsuspends. Monstrous. Very, very good for a Digimon with the title of 7 Great Demon Lords. I'm looking forward to playing this card. And then we have its option card, Gift of Darkness. Main, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon. Then you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into Belphemon Sleep Mode from your trash without paying its cost. Security effect, by trashing one Digimon card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's Digimon whose level is less than or equal to the trash card. So we can already see that this line pretty much revolves around building your tower with Foscamon as its base, drawing and trashing on your opponent's turn, just trying to filter through your deck, get the card you want in the trash, so that when you get to Astamon and Digivolve into Belphemon, Belphemon is pretty much there with impunity. Not pure impunity, because he can still be gotten rid of with option cards. However, if your opponent does not deal with him, Rage Mode will come out and potentially slaughter your opponent. And if you can't, there's 2 ways to build this deck. You can either build it with the Foscamon line, or you can build it with the Gizamon line, just to make it just play straight from hand, and then you don't have to worry about digivolving up and missing pieces. Both strategies could work, and it'd be very interesting to see which strategy would be more prevalent. Alright, on to the next set. Alright, now here we have more support for Bird Up or the Phoenixmon Beomon line. First off, we have Beomon, 3 calls to play, 1000 DP. On play, if played by an effect, you may return one of your Christy Damon cards to your hand. Digivolve this Digimon to a Garudamon in your hand, and ignoring its Digivolution requirements and without playing its claws. And on deletion, draw 1 card. On next, Aquilamon, 5 costs to play, 2 costs to Digivolve, 5000 DP. On play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. Alright, straightforward. On deletion, again, draw a card. Then we have Garudamon. Garudamon, 7 costs to play, 7000 DP, 3 costs to Digivolve. On play, when Digivolving, you may play 1 red Tamer card with a cost of 3 or less from your hand without paying its cost. On deletion, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less. Alright, nice. Bird Up does like playing those red Tamers for free, for free. And then next up, we have Christy Damon, 3 costs to play Tamer. Start of main phase, if you have a Digimon with Avian or Bird in his traits in play, gain 1 memory. And in the Bird Up deck, you're pretty much always going to have that in play if you have a Digimon on the board. On play, one of your Digimon gains. On deletion, you may play 1 Beomon from your hand or trash without paying its cost. And its security effect is play this card without paying its memory cost. So the addition of this effectively allows you to, 1, get more bird targets for this deck, play a Beomon, which can potentially warp straight into Garudamon, and then you can still gain memory with Christy Damon, and also this will give you a little bit of recycling power, because if your Digimon gets deleted, which Bird Up, you want to kind of get deleted, so you can get your menagerie of effects. And when you get deleted, now you can also play Beomon from hand or trash, so you can use this Beomon's effect potentially to warp right into Garudamon again, or you can play the other Beomon released in BT11 to on play, search for a Tamer and a vaccine red Digimon. Nice addition. Alright, moving on. Alright, here we have the Chessmon line. 3 calls to play, 1000 DP, 1 to Digivolve from black or yellow. This Digimon has the effect on deletion. If it's your turn, you may play 1 level 3 or lower Digimon with Chessmon in its name from your hand without paying its cost. If you have 8 or more Digimon with Chessma in its name in your trash, add to the maximum level that you can play by this effect. Inheritable effect, Reboot. Okay, that was Pawn Chessmon. Next up to Night Chessmon. 5 cost to play, 4,000 DP. 3 cost to Digivolve from either yellow or black. On Digivolve 2 from a level 3 with Chessmon in his name. Okay. On deletion, if it's your turn, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card with Chessmon in his name from your hand without paying its cost. And Inheritable is also Reboot. Next up, we have Bishop Chessmon. 7 cost to play, 7,000 DP. 4 cost to Digivolve from either yellow or black. And again, Digivolve 3 from a level 4 with Chessmon in his name. On deletion, if it's your turn, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon with Chessmon in this name from your hand without paying its cost. And surprise, surprise, and the Inheritable is Reboot. Then, last up in the line, currently, we have the 13 cost to play, 11,000 DP, 4 cost to Digivolve from, again, yellow or black. When Digivolve 3 from a level 5 with Chessmon in its name. And when you would play this card from your hand, if you have 8 or more Digimon cards with Chessmon in their names in your trash, reduce this play cost by 8. On play, when Digivolving, you may delete one of your Digimon to play 1 Digimon card with Chessmon in its name other than King Chessmon from your hand without paying its cost. Now, just saying it right now, I'm assuming the card that you're going to want to play with King Chessmon's effect is going to be the not yet revealed Queen Chessmon, which will probably have a devastating on play when Digivolving skill. Just my hypothesis right now. But the line does seem to effectively try to make use of the numbers that you have. So I think this deck will benefit more from having a lot of hand advantage because you're going to be wanting to play a lot of things from hand. So yeah, this is, I'm interested to see how this is going to play. All right, let's move on. All right, next we have the Galmon lineup. So we have the 3 cost to play, 1,000 DP. Galmon, on play, both players draw the top card of their decks. I know you don't really want to give your opponents draws, but this deck will make use of it. Might not be optimal, but it will make use of it. Inheritable, all turns, while your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, this Digimon gets 1,000 DP. Next up, Galgamon, 5 cost to play, 5,000 DP, 2 calls to Digivolve. When Digivolving, if you don't have a Thomas H. Norstein in play, you may play 1 Thomas H. Norstein from your hand without paying its cost. Inheritable, all turns, while your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, get 1,000 DP. Next, 7 cost to play, 7,000 DP, 3 cost to Digivolve, Mach Galgamon. When attacking, if your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, this Digimon's attack cannot be switched for the turn, i.e. this Digimon cannot be blocked. It's inheritable, all turns, once per turn. When an effect adds cards to your opponent's hands, unsuspend this Digimon. Alright, so we can already see that you want, by your opponent having a lot of cards in their hand, you're going to be kind of beefy, and you're going to be able to swing at least twice. Next up, we have Mirage Galgamon, no surprise. 12 calls to play, 12,000 DP, 4 calls to Digivolve, kind of high, but you know, there's a reason for it. Alright, Evade is its main skill, so it will prevent its deletion other than DP deletion. So that's a good thing. Well, blue is the only color that has Evade right now. I've yet to see actual gameplay for UL Force Vegemon with Evade, so I'm interested to see how you would use this, because I feel like with this deck you want to be more on the aggressive side, so you're more likely to be suspended, so you wouldn't be able to use Evade, but we'll see. Alright, when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's Tamers to the owner's hands. Okay, nice. A little bit more interaction with Tamers. And all turns, when an effect adds cards to your opponent's hands, you may play 1 Thomas H. Norstein from your hand without paying its cost. Alright, so you can just play the Tamer, which will yield benefits. Okay, solid. But we also want to play Thomas H. Norstein for one other reason, and that's because of the burst mode that has been released. So here we have Mirage Galgamon Burst Mode. 15 cost to play, 15,000 DP, 5 cost to Digivolve. But it can burst Digivolve for 0 from Mirage Galgamon by returning one Thomas H. Norstein from hand, and if Bird Digivolve, trash the top card of this Digimon at the end of the turn. Okay, when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's Digimon to the owner's hand. Then gain 1 memory for every 4 cards in your opponent's hand. This is one of the reasons why we wanted the opponent to have more cards in hand. Now, normally that would be a bad thing because that means the opponent has a lot more things to choose from and a lot more strategies available to them. But however, it also has the when attacking skill if your opponent has 9 or more cards in hand. By choosing cards and returning them to the bottom of the owner's deck without looking at them so that your opponent has 8 cards left in their hand, unsuspend this Digimon. Note, this is not a once per turn skill. So, you could potentially attack one time with the inheritable from Mach Galgamon, and probably, depending on how many Thomas Norsteins you have, so if you have 2, that's 1 attack, 2 attack, 3 attack, 4 attacks, just with Mirage Galgamon Burst Mode. And if you've built the line, he's going to be at 17,000 DP. In other words, any Digimon he runs into is probably not going to be able to stop him. This could be a different take to Metagarurumon. If they do start touching the X antibody, this will probably be the next thing people move on to who like the Metagarurumon mechanic. Alright, and I guess if you can't finish your opponent, you do have the option to swing, unsuspend, and then end your turn, and when this card is trashed, the Mirage Galgamon under it will have evade and will be able to defend itself at least to a certain degree. Alright, that's a solid addition to the line. Okay, next up. Before I go any further, I want to make sure I talked about the tamer that we were just discussing, Thomas J. Norstein, which is a 4 cost to play blue tamer, which also is a memory setter. And his skill is, when your Digimon with Galmon or Galgamon understand attacks, by suspending this tamer, both players draw the top card of their decks. And this is what can be used to facilitate some of the conditions that activate the Galgamon skills. Alright, next up, we have the Bancho Leomon line. So we have Leomon, 3 cost to play, 1000 DP. Your turn, once per turn. When a card is removed from your security stack, gain 1 memory. Inheritable, when attacking, once per turn. If the total cards in both players' security stack is 6 or less, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. Here we have Raimon, 4 cost to play, 4000 DP, 2 cost to Digivolve. When attacking, trash the top card of your security stack to have one of your opponent's Digimon get minus 4000 DP for the turn. Inheritable, when attacking, once per turn, if the total cards in both players' security stacks is 6 or less, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. And then we have Loader Leomon, 7 cost to play, 7000 DP, 3 cost to Digivolve. This Digimon has Barrier, and also it's inheritable as Barrier, so it will give some protection to whatever Digivolves on top of it. Okay, nice. And then we have, finally, the 12 cost to play, 11,000 DP, 3 cost to Digivolve, Blocker, Bancho Leomon. When Digivolving, by trashing the top card of your security stacks, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. All turns, once per turn, when a card is removed from your security stack, you may play 1 yellow tamer from your hand without paying its cost. Okay, nice. I do like the fact that this line effectively makes it so that you have a blocker with Barrier. That's actually pretty neat. And probably makes this Digimon very annoying to get rid of. Okay, interesting. And then last up, included in this line, here we have Spencer Daemon. All turns, once per turn, when your yellow Digimon is suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 DP until the end of the turn. And end of your turn, once per turn, if the total cards in both players' securities deck is 6 or less, until the end of your opponent's turn, treat this tamer as a 3000 DP Digimon that can't Digivolve and gains Blocker. Alright, so we can already see that this is a very defensive line that works very well in tandem with the Kentaurismon line. So I think this bundled with the Kentaurismon will make a very solid deck. I mean, to be fair, you are living effectively with low security when you're playing the Kentaurismon deck. So you're going to need some type of defense as well. This offers that defense toolkit to keep your Digimon alive and to have blockers that will potentially prevent you from getting just G'd out since you're already at reduced security. I mean, yeah, it's a nice strat, and it makes that deck a little bit more cohesive. Okay, nice. Next we have the Green Beasts. We have the 3 cost to play, 1000 DP, Salmon. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with Beast, Animal, or Sovereign in one of its traits. And 1 Digimon with the Royal Knight trait among them in your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Inheritable, your turn while the Digimon has Beast, Animal, Sovereign, and one of its traits, other than Sea Animal, or the Royal Knight in its traits. This Digimon gains 2000 DP. Already, we can see that this effect is somewhat similar to the Bird Up line, except this one has Beast, Animal. Well, no. They both have Beast, Animal. No, other one has Avian, sorry. And Sovereign. However, this one has the addition of Royal Traits. This leads me to believe that the only Sovereign in green right now is Ebon Wumon, but I don't think that fits with this deck's style. And the same can be said with Shushaomon for the bird up strategy. So I do think we might be getting in the future another iteration of the 4 Sovereigns. I mean, we already have at least 3 copies of Azulongmon. It's not outside the realm of reason that we're going to get more copies or more variations of the other ones as well. But that's went off on a tangent. Let's continue. We have the 4 cost to play, 4000 DP, 2 cost to Digivolve, Mikomon. On play, one of your Digimon gains Piercing, simple, and Inheritable. While this Digimon has Beast, Animal, Sovereign in its traits, or the Royal Knight trait, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. Next up, we have Mihiramon, 7 cost to play, 7000 DP, 3 cost to Digivolve. On play, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 7000 DP or less. Then, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon doesn't unsuspend. Nice. Inheritable effect. Your turn once per turn. When this Digimon would Digivolve, reduce the Digivolution by 1. This is what Green's known to do. Okay, I guess we can already kind of guess that seeing as we've seen that keyword Royal Knight at least more than once, the next card I'm going to reveal is Leopardmon. Alright, so here we have Leopardmon, 11 cost to play, 11,000 DP, 3 cost to Digivolve. However, this one only has a when Digivolving skill, which means it's not really intended to be played with the Yggdrasil line. You can still play it, however, you're only really going to get the all turns effect. But still, you can do it. However, this one has when Digivolving and main skill. You may play 1 Digimon card with the Royal Knight trait or 1 green Digimon card from your hand for its play cost. When played by this effect, reduce the play cost by 4. And that's what I was saying. It doesn't have an on-play skill, but it does have the main skill. So it still would work, but you have to use it with Yggdrasil's effect if you're going to play it from straight out. And then you would use this effect for when you play the next card, reduce its cost by 4. So it will still work, just a little different than so far what we've seen. It also has the all turns. When you play another Digimon, regardless, all of your Digimon with Royal Knight and green gain blocker. So effectively, you just made your entire field blocker, and with this Digimon, you can at least play one other Digimon card. So you have 2 blockers on the field with this one Digimon. It also has its Leopard mode, or Beast mode. 12 cost to play, 12,000 DP, 4 cost to Digivolve. Digivolve for 1 from Leopardmon. When Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon doesn't unsuspend. When attacking, by suspending one of your other Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon, and at the end of your turn, trash the top card of this Digimon and unsuspend all of your Digimon. What makes this card very nice is that if you're running Leopardmon outside of the Yggdrasil deck, you could potentially use the way green has been now, going very wide very quickly, and then once you Digivolve into Leopardmon, make all your Digimon blockers, Digivolve into Leopardmon Beast Mode, attack with all of them, unsuspend, attack with Leopard Mode again, and at the end of turn, trash and unsuspend all of your now new blockers. This is amazing. I love this. I don't think I'm going to build this deck because me and Green have a very bitter relationship in this game, but I would like to see this deck played. All right, okay, next up. Next up, we have the Falcomon line. So we have the 3 cost to play, 1000 DP. Falcomon, on play, one of your purple Digimon gains retaliation until the end of your opponent's turn. On deletion, if deleted outside of a battle, your opponent trashes 1 card in their hand. Okay. 5 cost to play, 5000 DP, 2 cost to Digivolve. We have Peckmon, blocker. Okay. On deletion, if deleted outside of battle, your opponent trashes 1 card in hand. We're beginning to see a trend. Next up, we have Crowmon, 7 cost to play, 7000 DP, 3 cost to Digivolve. When attacking, if you have a Tamer in play, you may Digivolve this Digimon into Ravenmon from your trash for its Digivolution cost. And, inheritable, on deletion, if deleted, again, outside of battle, you may play 1 level 4 or lower purple Digimon card from your trash without playing its cost. Alright, so we can already guess that next up we're going to have Ravenmon. So we have Ravenmon, 12 cost to play, 12,000 DP, 4 cost to Digivolve. End of your turn, by deleting this Digimon that has a Digivolution card with Bird or Avian in one of its traits, at the end of your opponent's turn, at the end of your opponent's next turn, play 1 Ravenmon from your trash without paying its cost. On deletion, you may play 1 Falcomon or 1 Keenan Crier from your hand or trash without paying its cost. And then, last up, we have the newly revealed Ravenmon Burst Mode. 15 cost to play, 15,000 DP, 5 cost to Digivolve. Burst Digivolve, by returning 1 Keenan Crier in play, you can Digivolve for 0 for Ravenmon, and at the end of the turn, you Burst Digivolve, trash the top card of the Digimon. Standard for the Burst Evolutions. When Digivolving, look at your opponent's hand and trash 1 card in it. Then if your opponent has 7 or fewer cards in the hand, they add the top card of their security stack to the hand. When attacking, by returning 1 Digimon card from your opponent's trash to the bottom of their deck, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the same name as the card returned by this effect. This line has something very unique in the fact that this line specializes as reswarming by deleting itself, reaping benefits on play, playing the Tamer, and then, not only that, looking into your opponent's hand, choosing a card, discarding a card, potentially deleting a few Digimon on board that could probably be troublesome, taking a card from your opponent's security stack, and then making your opponent trash 2 more cards in their hand. This Digimon gives you so much utility. Just the fact that it lets you look at your opponent's hand and let you know what they have gains you tremendous advantage. This is not something I would want to fight up against because this looks very hard to defend against. Because really, it gains benefit even if it's deleted or not deleted. So, yeah, that's a humdinger. Okay, that's a nice solid line. Let's look at the last one. All right. And all right, just want to make sure I covered this. So there is another Keenan Crier coming out in this pack, and it will be a 3 cost to play. On play, your opponent may trash 1 Tamer or option card from their hand. If they did not trash a card, gain 1 memory and draw 1 card. And on your opponent's turn, when a Digimon is played by an effect, you may suspend this Tamer to gain 1 memory. And we know Ravenmon will delete itself, and when it does, it spawns 2 other members, potentially, and therefore you'd be able to get this effect then. So you could potentially still turn with Keen and Crier. So it does add a little bit more versatility to the deck. Alright, last but not least up, we have the line that I was actually looking forward to. We have the Lalamon line. So here we have the 3 cost to play 1000 DP Lalamon. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with Vegetation, Plant, or Fairy, and in one of its traits, and 1 Yoshino Fujieda among them to your hand. Place the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. Inheritable, once per turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a green tamer in play, reduce its Digivolution cost by 1. Next up, we have the 4 cost to play 3000 power, 3000 DP, 2 cost to Digivolve, main, Sunflowmon. Main skill, by suspending this Digimon, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Fairy in one of its traits from your hand by paying its Digivolution cost. When you would Digivolve by this effect, reduce the Digivolution cost by 2. So, already, if you have Lalamon under this Sunflowmon, you effectively Digivolve into Lilamon for free. Because Lilamons, to my knowledge, at this point, are all 3 cost Digivolution costs. There's also some other Digimon in the pool, I forget their name at the current moment, that also still use the suspending Digimon to gain effects ability. So this is actually fairly good. And its inheritable effect, once per turn, when this Digimon will Digivolve, if you have a green tamer in play, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. So you're making each Digivolution cost cheaper as you Digivolve up. The next up, we have the 7 costs to play, 7000 DP, 3 costs to Digivolve, Lilamon. When Digivolving, you may play 1 Yoshino Fujieda from your hand without paying its memory cost. And inheritable effect this time, while your opponent has a suspended Digimon in play, this Digimon gains security attack +1. Alright, next up, we have the 4 cost to play Tamer, Yoshino Fujieda. Start of your turn, if you have 2 memory or less, set your memory to 3, so nice decent memory setter. Your turn, when one of your Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon with Vegetation, Plant, or Fairy in one of its traits, by suspending this Tamer, gain 1 memory. This is the most memory efficient thing I've seen in quite some time. And if you take into effect Rosemon, who was already revealed earlier, we already see that the Rosemon says, when Digivolving, by suspending one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, unsuspend this Digimon. So you're already going to suspend one of your opponent's Digimon when you Digivolve into Rosemon, thus triggering all the remaining effects and gaining Sec +1. That is the epitome of what Green likes to do. Suspend and reap benefits. At least that's what it is now. But that's not all. We do have one more thing to reveal, and that is we now have Rosemon Burst Mode. A beefy 15 cost to play, 15,000 DP, 5 cost to Digivolve. Burst Digivolve, same mode, by returning 1 Yoshino Fujieda in play to the owner's hand, Digivolve 0 from Rosemon. At the end of your turn, when you burst Digivolve, try to stop card of this Digimon. When Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and one of their Tamers. All of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers don't unsuspend until the end of your opponent's next turn. So if you Digivolve into Rosemon, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and one of your opponent's Tamer. You burst mode Digivolve, again, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and one of their Tamers. And then they can't unsuspend. Not only that, when attacking, for every 2 suspended Digimon and or Tamers your opponent has in play, trash 1 card from the top of your opponent's security stack. Your opponent's hybrids no longer has the solid defense that they have. Minus Black or Greymon just blowing up Tamers. Rosemon will suspend them, not let them be able to be unsuspended, so they can't just Digivolve from a Tamer into a Digimon and swing. That's not going to happen. They can use their effects to suspend, reap benefits. Not only that, for each card that you effectively have in play, for at least 2, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So if your opponent has 4 cards in play, that's trash 2, take 1 for a damage check. That can be a sneaky way to sneak in a win if your opponent doesn't have a blocker on the field. But even if they do have a blocker on the field, you can choose to suspend the blocker. This is awesome. I know I said I didn't have really good synergy with green, but this one I will be trying because I do love the Rosemont line. I'm sad that they didn't stick with the Digiburst mechanic. It just seems like they're phasing out the game. I understand why, but sad to see it go. All right, here we see the breakdown of what's left, what's remaining in the pack. So there's not much left actually at this point. Almost everything has been revealed except for a few holdouts. The only thing I'm really interested in, which are the secret rares, I have currently as Lucamon Shadow Lord Mo, only because we've already heard things about Lucamon being in the card text of Lord Nightmon and Dynasmon. No surprise. But since we do know we're also getting 1 of each Royal Knight, I think the other secret rare, if it's going to be a Royal Knight, is going to be Examon. The reasoning behind that is, to date, for the most part, any Digimon that's been on the cover art of the pack has not been the secret rare. I mean, it's a secret rare, so I don't think you're supposed to have too much insight on what's going to be in it, just from the pack cover alone. So that's why, instead of putting Omnimon as the other secret rare, I think it's going to be Examon, and Omnimon, Galamon, Magnamon are going to be rares as well. Well, going to be rares instead. I also put Queen Chessmon as a rare as well, because I think the Chessmon line still does need that one pop to benefit from King Chessmon's line. So I think we're going to see Queen Chessmon again, and it's going to be a rare. I mean, they could make it an uncommon, but I think it'd be a little bit more to put it as a rare. The Queen is the strongest piece in chess, so if it's not going to get a super rare, it at least deserves a rare. I mean, then again, it could be out of left field. They could make Queen Chessmon the secret rare. I mean, it wouldn't be expected, but it's not impossible. So yeah, there's not much left else. I do tend to shy away from picking the uncommons and common because they can be a plethora of anything. I will say, though, I am still looking for 1 Royal Knight option card that has a delay effect. I'm not sure what it's going to be called, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to get something to that effect just because King Yggdrasil said something about when a card that has Royal Knights in its trait that's an option is placed into the bat area, gain memory. So it seems like we're going to get 1. We just don't know what it is yet. So everyone, what do you think so far? What do you think the last holdouts are? There's not many left. And for the most part, I'm thinking a good portion of them are going to be option cards. I mean, option cards here and there, and a little scattering of maybe some more rookies and champions. But that's all we have for right now. Okay, this might be the last pack prediction, and the next video might just be the reveal of all contents and strategies that might be developed for the next iteration of Digimon. Okay, everyone, thanks for making it to the end. Thank you for your time. If you have any guesses what the remaining cards are going to be, leave them in the comments below, and have a good one. See you next time. Bye-bye.